Hey there, 2024 is almost over, and I wanted to share with you a fun tool that Ben and I personally use for our family that helps you not just genuinely align your goals for the next year, but it also helps paint the picture of where you really want to be in the next 10. So oftentimes we can be really focused on 1 year at a time, and then time passes us by and our life isn't what we envisioned. So we want to make sure that we know what our 10-year vision is. So that way, our 1 year goals get us closer to the life that we want to live and not further away from the life that we want to live. So we talk about 1 year goals all the time, but what would it look like if you had a vision 10 years out and worked your way backwards and lived your life really intentionally? So what you see on my screen here is the Personal Family VTO. This is from EOS, or Entrepreneurial Operating Systems. The book to read is Traction. We use this in our business, but we also started implementing this in our family in the last 2 years. Another great book to read if you don't want to read Traction is the EOS Life. It's a very short read and it has great reflection questions in there to help you put this together. But I'm going to walk you through this template. It's free. I can send it to you. It's not mine. Again, it is an EOS, a template, but I think it could definitely help you live your life more intentionally. Um, so you'll see here that there's core values. So your core values are going to be what matters to you most. These are guideposts for how you live your life. Oftentimes, these are things that if you have children, you want to make sure that you're instilling these values in your children. You might find that people that you like to spend more of your time with have these values, and people that you like to spend less of your time with, we all have those family members, don't have these values. So Ben and I this year, we completely revamped our values. 2024 gave us a lot of clarity on what was really important to us. So just to give you a couple examples here, we did generosity, adventure, adaptability, learning, and presence. So those were the core values that we chose for our family, but I highly recommend you choose what's best for you. ChatGPT can be a real help here. Next, you want to come up with your passion. So, what drives you to get up every day? What drives you to have these goals on this vision traction organizer? These might be hobbies that you have that you want to make sure you have time and money to do. This might be just changing the family trajectory that you have. I grew up, Ben and I both grew up from blue collar, you know, low low income families. So a big part of our passion is to change that for generations to come. So for example, my personal cause and passion is to empower others on their path to financial independence and eventually financial freedom. So that's why I love to work, and that drives me every day to help others. But then to help my family, because I do have to earn an income, what drives me to earn money for my family is to build generational wealth and create opportunities that allow us to give back in a meaningful and impactful way. So you want to come up with your personal passions here. I've got some agents that they have pretty expensive hobbies, and so they might list that here, just trying to give you some examples. Your next step is to really start visualizing that 10-year target. We all talk about SMART goals. I'm sure you've heard of that before. So try to make some of these as smart as possible. The more measurable it is, the easier it is to break it down to a 3 year picture and a 1 year picture, which we'll get to here soon. But really, I want you to just think about, what do you want your life to look like in 10 years? Is it working less hours? Is it traveling more? Is there a net worth income number, a measurable that you could have associated with this. If you're into investing in real estate, do you want to have a certain amount of doors in 10 years? Really get granular. I would take a lot of time on this if this is your first time doing this, especially, and just jot everything that comes to mind and then try to structure it. So Ben and I, just to give some examples here, we do have a passive income goal in our 10-year target. We have a net worth target and we have a unit target. And that's because those measurables are going to be what affect how we do the other things that we want to do in our 10-year target. So just trying to give you some ideas there. Because generosity is in our core value and our passions, we also have a measurable there for how much money that we want to donate. And we have a vision on what that actually would look like, what would give us a sense of purpose. From there, you want to chunk that down to a 3-year picture. So this is where having that vision 10 years out really becomes helpful, because now you can be intentional with, well, where do I have to be in 3 years to be on pace for that 10? And then from there, you're going to break that down again to your 1-year picture. And hopefully this aligns with your business goals for the end of 2025. And what I mean by that is, do your business goals for 2025 feed into or help create the 1-year plan? And if not, you might just need to make some adjustments, but that clarity helps you be much more intentional, to make sure that you're going to live the life that you want to live, or life by design, as we say. Another part here that I love is then you're going to break it down even again. So you're just constantly chunking this down. As they say, how do you eat an elephant? One bite at a time. And that's what this process is doing for you. Another great book to read is The 12-Week Year. It really focuses on how to chunk your goals down into 90-day increments, or as EOS calls them, rocks. Because oftentimes, if we're only looking at the year goal, we think there's a lot more time left. So say your goal is to sell 20 homes, just for easy math. You're halfway through the year and you've only sold 5. But in your brain, you've got 6 more months. Like, oh, I got plenty of time. I'll hit it. I'll hit it. I'll hit it. If you chunk that goal down into quarterly rocks, you know that really you need to sell 5 in the first 3 months. And then by end of June, you need to have sold 10 homes. And if you're short of that, now you have to have a solution to fix the gap. But it's just going to help you stay really focused and really understand if you're on pace or off pace. So that way you could be intentional in hitting those goals. And then lastly is an issues list. I tell folks, put some potential barriers here. What might be something that comes up that prevents you from hitting these goals? Maybe it's something, I think Ben and I put on here, like, time was an issue. So we had to put in a couple systems in place to help us have more time to hit our goals. It might be a habits issue. Maybe you struggle with discipline. So what are ways that you can address that? Maybe it's having an accountability partner, but it'll help you brainstorm, like, all right, I know these are the things that if they come up too much, they might prevent me from hitting my 1-year goal. So how can I overcome them? I will send you this template. If you request it, just let me know. I'd love to send it to you. I would love to hear what your vision is for the next 10 years and the next year. If this is something that you need help with, this is something that my leadership team and I can help you develop. Sometimes you just need that extra pair of ears and eyes to go over something like this, and we would absolutely love to help you. Do this with your family. If you have one, if you're single, maybe get a couple of friends together and do it with them. It's a lot of fun. Ben and I, when we sat down to do this the other day, we were actually impressed with how much that we've crossed off, even in a couple years ahead already. We were short on a couple goals, so we were able to figure out, all right, what got in the way this year? How can we be better next year? But it does give you a sense of gratification when you can say, oh my gosh, look at all that we've achieved on our list, and you're heading in the right direction. I recommend weekly check-ins, just to make sure you're on pace, make sure that you and your partner are aligned. And you can also use this tool to help you say no in the future. So we get opportunities thrown at us all the time. You can use this document to determine, is this opportunity that's being presented to me, is it going to help me get closer to my 10-year vision? Or is it sounds fun and cool, but it's actually going to take me a step in the opposite direction? So this tool can be kind of your roadmap, and that guide and the thing that helps you make big decisions for you and your family. So I hope you find this helpful. I wish you all the best as you enter in 2025. And if there's ever anything that I can do to help, please let me know.